Factorising stuff like this really comes from just the reverse of expansion. So if I had a simple expansion, let's say 2 lots of x plus 4, then that means I've got 2 of these things. Now let's say in a basket I've got x plus 4, then I have 2 baskets. How many x am I going to have? Would be 2x. And if I had 4 and I had 2 of the 2 baskets with 4 in it, overall I'd have a plus 8. And you can imagine this to be expanding it by multiplying the first 2 terms, and then the 2 actually multiplies the second term as well. And that generates this thing. So how would we go in reverse? What would we have to remove or suck out of both terms? Well, the way I try to think about this, if you've got something like 6x plus 8, then if I had a Hoover, a vacuum cleaner, and that was sort of sucking up numbers from both of these terms, what could it take out of both of them? So if it tried to take the 6 out of this, it would have to take a 6 out of this as well. And when I say take out, I mean divide by. So I could divide this one by 6, that's fine, but I couldn't divide 8 by 6 very easily. So I want to divide it by something that is in both terms, which is 2. So the 2 can be taken out of this, and that leaves a 3x and a 4. And that is then factorised. That's the only thing I could take out of both these 2 terms. In the second example, what could I take out of 12a and 16? Well, the biggest term that fits into both 12 and 16 is 4. So 4 can come out, leaving 3a minus 4. And notice I said biggest. It always has to be the biggest term that you could put on the outside. In the final example, you could take a 4 out of both terms. So I could write a 4 with x squared minus 8x. But notice that wasn't everything I could take out, because I've also got the x terms. So I could take an x out of this as well, leaving me with 4x. Now if I were to take an x out of that, that would leave me with x. And then if I divided this term by x, that would be minus 8. Oops, I've made a mistake here. Can you spot what it is? If you've seen that I've written here a minus 8 by mistake, then you'd be correct. This should be minus 8 divided by 4. This should be a minus 2. So overall, this should actually say 4x and then x minus 2. How did I know that I'd made a mistake there? Because what I'd done was I'd expanded this out and saw if this is what I got. And by expanding this, I get my 4x squared, great. But by expanding it with this one, I don't get minus 8x. So I knew that I'd made a mistake. And that's why I had to correct what I'd written. If you correct your work in a test or in your homework, make sure you put a neat line through it and then start again.